Well, new research suggests that the healthiest way to wean your baby is to serve them finger food and let them decide what they want to eat. Well, there you go. We're joined on the sofa by writer and presenter Liz Fraser. Liz Fraser? I do apologise. Liz Fraser! I've just invented a new person. And Annabel Karmel, who's an author particularly on children and babies' food. You're both mums, though, as well, and your views do differ, don't they, on this? So, Liz, where do you stand?
Well, I really enjoyed watching the people that you interviewed there. Actually, the First Lady gets a gold star in my book. This sort of idea of, you know, mixing up, you know, pureed food, finger food, and also just seeing what your baby seems to want. So I'm very much on the baby-led weaning side of things. You obviously need to be careful of allergies and all of that stuff, and do listen to that medical advice. But, you know, every mum knows their own child. And it's a shame when you hear someone like the very last lady who commented, who said, I don't feel confident in knowing when. That's I think a lot of women particularly, actually, feel that they ought to have a natural instinct to know when to. And the fact is that a lot of us don't. But I would encourage people, really, just to let your babies, you know, beyond a certain age, maybe 4 or 5 months, just have a go, pick things up, feel solid bits in their mouth, which is very important, and they like it, actually, and they'll spit it out, put it back in and choke. It's all part of learning how to eat.
Choking slightly scares me, because you
say... Choking is scary, yeah, it is scary.
Yeah, and surely that's something we would rather avoid.
We would rather avoid it. I mean, I don't know any mother whose child hasn't choked on a piece of carrot or
My
apple.
children would store their food up in their mouth for like 20 minutes after they've eaten, so the danger is sometimes that you go out the room and they've still got food in their mouth.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think you're used to choking. I mean, are we talking about coughing and spluttering, or that thing where they start going blue?
Oh, no, not the blue thing. That's very bad.
I mean, we have to be clear, yeah,
Yes.
because that's what we're scared of, I think.
We are
giving a youngster a big piece of apple or something.
They can bite it off, but then they don't know what to do with it, because sucking is a natural reflex, and learning to swallow is something that has to happen gradually. But I think the danger is really that babies of 6 months, they're just not proficient at feeding themselves. And from 6 months, they need much more than milk, particularly iron. So the baby isn't going to get the nutrients they need if it's just solely baby-led weaning. So my view on it is purees plus finger food, because I do think finger foods are important, soft finger foods combined with purees. The other thing is that, you know, the type of food that we have as adults, which is a good diet, which is low fat, high fibre, is the worst possible diet for a baby. They need nutrient-dense foods, so something like mashed avocado is fantastic.
But it's very strange to me, though, Annabel, because, you know, children are getting more and more obese. We're all getting more and more obese. But when we were little, my mother had no advice on this kind of thing at all. I certainly wasn't obese. No one in my family was, and I'm sure your children, many people watching aren't. So how come, with all of this advice and studies and this, that and the other, people are just getting bigger and bigger? And I think what I'd really like to know is who they've asked, because these statistics are always very confusing.
No, but it's misleading. They've asked 92 children who are baby-led and 62 babies who are brought up on purees. We don't know what the babies were given. They were probably given jars of commercial baby purees, and they said they like sweet food. That's because the only purees in jars that taste nice are the sweet ones. The since you have savoury puree, it tastes terrible.
And I also think the research is probably based on the BMI, your body mass index, which can be misleading. I know some professional rugby players who are morbidly obese.
Exactly, on the form it would say that. And I think the message you really don't want people to take home today is if you puree food and feed it to your babies, they will become obese. That's not helpful. What's much more helpful is to say, look at your baby, sense what they need, and do let them experiment with finger food. It is very important.
Nick Beggar gave his baby fillet steak as the first food.
What age?
Just to prove what you were saying wrong. This was 3 months.
3 months, right?
Really? Absolutely loved it. She's now 60 months old, didn't choke to death, very healthy and eats everything.
I wouldn't give babies any solid food at 3 months. I would only start at 17 weeks.
All right.
There you are.
Lindsay Conway says a combination of pureed food and finger foods works for my son of 8 months. Finger foods are more fun for mum and baby, but they don't get much in their mouths, which is a good point. Jenny Sharp, though, I think maybe sums it up the nicest. Not for or against baby-led weaning. It has to be the mother's choice.
Mothers know best.
Or the father's
choice. You know what
we should include that in as well.
The other thing that was interesting on the survey was that they found that babies who were given baby-led weaning like carbohydrates better. Well, not surprising, they're given pita bread and pieces of toast. So it's kind of like
what do French babies eat? That's what I want to know.
I don't know what
French
we haven't got time to go continental.
The research.
I think baby-led weaning with artichokes for French babies.
Oh, here they go. You go off and work out your recipe.
There's people out there conducting surveys now as we speak based on what you two have said.
Buy plastic sheeting for your carpets, whatever you do.